with Elul Joy. Yes, we are here in our home studio. Thank God, after a wonderful so far double Emuna Tuesday, we had the great, talented, and healing vibrational sounds of Dr. Benjamin Klempner, also known as Dr. Benjamin Klempner. Amazing soul, came into our studio and inspired us with some grounding, healing energy. Thank God I had a visit from an awesome DJ Hudakris, which delayed me a little bit, thank God, but also getting ready everything for the class so it could be the best energy. I apologize starting a little bit later than usual, but we've got a great energy in the air. So being that we're close to Elul, only a few days away, we'll be by Shabbos, Rosh Chodesh Tika Shabbos. This Shabbat is going to be Elul, Rosh Chodesh Elul. We're going to blow the shofar for the first time beginning on Sunday for this year. Svardim, we're going to begin Slichot, special time. We'll be saying the You Hashem Uri, Psalm 27. A lot of light and energy. Parshas Re'eh, and then Parshas Shoftim. A lot of good vibes in the air. And we're going to try bring it with joy. It says behind me, smile and the world will smile with you. So we have to really try and live up to that. We'll start off with a few Elul songs. And if you stick around the class, the full class, at the end we'll, after learning together a bit of new light from Rav Shalom Arush, we'll please God round off the class with one of my own songs on Simcha, joy. Achat sho'avalti, shouti miyetz Hashem. Achat sho'avalti miyetz Hashem, asov v'avakesh. Achat sho'avalti, Shiati miyetz Hashem, Achashati miyetz Hashem, Asov v'avakesh. Shifti miyetz Hashem, Kobo yemei chayai, Lachzois b'noya b'noya b'Shem, V'levacher b'haikalo. Shifti b'veis Hashem, Kol yemei chayai, Lachzois b'noya b'noya b'Shem, V'levacher b'haikalo. No, I know, Abedin Shabbaton. I know, I'll be doing the Kiddush Shabbaton. I know, I'll be doing the Kiddush Shabbaton. I know, I'll be doing the Kiddush Shabbaton. We just played 3 songs. One of them is from Psalm 27, Achashalti. The only thing I request, Ma'is Hashem, to be in your dwelling place. Yeah, Shifti Beveis Hashem. to dwell in the dwelling place of Hashem all the days of my life. It's the first key to joy, is to realize that you have to want the right things, and once you've tuned into the rots and the right will, the true self, your true essence, get to know yourself, your inner will, and that will give you the clarity, the clarification, to be able to have joy and clarity, understanding. They all go together. Simcha, bina, simchan and vinyana. We say alamichya. We say after we eat cake and drink wine and fruits, the 7 species, when we eat them, other than bread, we say samchein and vinyana. We get simcha from building. We also get simcha from the building, but also from the understanding. The tzaddikim say that to understand, have clarity. This is what we're going to continue on with the new light. We have it here. Baruch Hashem. So I'm right. Thank you for lifting up our spirits. A great song, Baruch Hashem. No problem, Lara. Pleasure. And someone wrote Gracias Hashem and other beautiful words in Spanish, which I'm not going to say because I don't want to. A new light. That's what we're going to continue in a moment with Rav Arush. It's a wonderful book. And as I said, we'll carry on with one of my own songs. The second song we sang, Ana Hashem. Yeah, the idea of being Abdechad Kidja Baruch, that we are, please God, we're asking Hashem from Shem Bayochai. The first one's from Doda Melech. The second song is from Shem Bayochai, that I want to be a servant of you, Hashem, that I really want to serve you. And the beautiful next part is from the Baal Shem Tov, David, from Shimon, the Baal Shem Tov, everything's Mina Shemayim, the flow. The Baal Shem Tov, this is the tradition we have, all the way to Rabbi Nachman, to Uman, Rosh Hashanah. The idea that the light of the soul carries through all the generations, all the way till now, till 2022, Tafshin, Pei, Base. We're at the climax now this year, and we're coming as a preparation class with Double Emuna Tuesday to get us into the right mindset for Tafshin, Pei, Gimel. So it's up to us to really open ourselves to the special light that's available in the world. And being that, thank God, Shalom from Germany, yes, on Facebook, we've got YouTube Live, got our podcast, thank God, it's going, and we appreciate all the love, all the connection, and we have a lot of announcements to make as well in this class. Thank God we're in our home studio. It looks like the Wi-Fi, you guys seem to be seeing everything good, hearing everything good. We don't take it for granted. Still didn't get a new phone, but thank God, so far so good. The studio here is in a better situation, the home studio, and we're able to do a wonderful class today. Good vibes, healing vibrations. Check out his symphonysound.net website and be able to tune in a bit more to Dr. Klempner. We'll hope to bring him again. It'd be amazing to bring that healing energy towards the Rav Shalom Ben Yemna. We always dedicate our class to his full recovery, and to realize that joy and Elul go together, that people think of Elul, and especially in circles. When I first came to yeshiva and Samech, more literature circles, they think of Elul as more as like yira and fear and certain pachad for Yom Adin, of fear. That definitely, we spoke about that last week in Parsha Zekev. It talks about Parsha Yira. So it is a reality of Elul, and the fish are trembling, that whole thing. But also we have to remember that, as my Rebbe said, the Tolna Rebbe, either Gil Barada, you have to have Simchosi b'toch Yirosi, Yirosi b'toch Simchosi, that Yira, true awareness of God, doesn't bring you to fear, brings you to joy. Tremble with joy, the idea of Rigzavatach, but also to tremble with joy, Gili Barada, and the idea of Simcha is, Arianobi says, and it's brought in the Tanah B'Eliyahu, and Tzaddik can bring down of Sodek and others, thinking the idea of Simchosi is in the Yerosi, the Simcha is in the awareness of Hashem, and the awareness of Hashem goes together with the joy, and it's back and forth. The more you get more clarity and awareness, understanding, and Musagim, where you understand what your purpose, what you're here for, the more you come to true joy, true pleasure, and that's the key for Elul. What's the whole idea of Melech B'Sodeh? And we're not talking about Elvis Presley's in the field, even though that's a funny picture. We're talking about the real Melech, HaMelech. He's in the field, the king himself has come out. El time coming up this weekend, this Shabbos, is in the field, so we can directly connect with our king. The Midas HaRachamim, the 13 levels of mercy, this divine rose of kindness and forgiveness is in the Psalm 27, 30 times Shem Havaya, and the shofar blowing and the whole energy of Elul is Ani L'Dovi Dodi Li. So they can talk about, they get like shikah, they get drunk from the love Hashem has for us and the love we have for Hashem. So time for relationship, and that should bring us joy, true joy. That's the kind of joy that we're talking about after we've had a little bit of a vacation. I hope everyone feels refreshed somewhat. I feel very refreshed after today's session with the beautiful vibrations that were brought into our studio. Check that class out, please share it. The idea of healing vibrations, very important for our generation to calm down. A lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness, a lot of doubts. We have to clarify all that and cleanse ourselves. Elul's a mikveh, it's a time of purification, 40 days to purify the 40 Sava mikveh, purifying our souls. Lifnei Hashem to Torah, Yom Kippur is already the climax, already by Shem Havaya, we're purified. So Parshas Re'eh, Re'eh Anochi, the idea Shem is giving us, and we're going to go into the teaching of Arosh in a moment, but just to know in this week's Parsha, Re'eh Anochi, Anochi Ana, and Neshmasi, Hashem, He gave us His soul, Anochi, Kasavis Yehavis, and how do you give it? By writing it into our soul, into our being, into the Torah. We're going to learn together, please God, the idea that Hashem Himself gave us His soul, His essence to us, united souls, to join together, to be able to experience a soul experience of what El was about, what our souls are. What is this gift every year? Rosh Hashanah, we get renewed souls. It's not just renewed panasa, but the chef of divine abundance. The souls go up through the shofar and come back down, refresh us like when we go to sleep. We get a new portion of soul. So it's for the whole year. We get a new portion of panasa, of shefa, of abundance. And this is what we're preparing ourselves for this shefa, this divine abundance. This is the kind of understanding that we have of our Creator that He wants to give to us. It's a mashpia makabel, the idea of someone giving and we're receiving. This brings us joy, this clarity, and that's the songs we were singing from the Tzaddikim all the way, David, Shimon, Vayochai, all the way through to the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Nachman. The idea of getting into the energy of the time through the Derech of Tzaddikim. Rabbi Nachman Fegel, the Simcha, the idea of Simcha, even in his name, the joy that exists, and he was the one who promised more than any of the Tzaddikim that come to him by Ummah and Rosh Hashanah, and he will fix everything, as we mentioned in the previous class with Dov Halpin. We read out what Rav Arush said, and it's on our sites. The idea we have to pray, and the tikkun is there, the fixing is there. It's in Klali, tune into that, and that joy of knowing that there's always ability to purify ourselves. Comes together, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and Sukkot and Shana Rabbah. This whole time is climaxing. Already 40 days is already also 30 days, and also the 52 days. We'll talk about it, the Parshas that we're going to read coming up, 40 Pesukim, 30 Pesukim, 52 Pesukim, Parshas Tzavim, V'yelech, Chazinu. We'll talk about it as we get to the climax. Right now we're already just at the beginning of Devarim, still, the beginning Parshas, and we're already by Re'eh Anochi. Hashem is giving us His essence. He's showing us Teferes, His essence, and He's giving us clarity, and that should bring us joy. And there's so many times written in this parsha. I remember hearing from a good friend of mine, where she lived, should be well, in Borough Park, I believe. Anyone out there, the idea that the Simcha is written more times in this parsha than many other parshas in the whole Torah. There's so much Simcha, so much joy, so much clarity, so much revelation. That's the revelation that brings us to Shuvah, to come back, to repent, to do true tshuva, to really, about tshuva is a tshuva on the tshuva, Rabbi Nachman says. We have to do tshuva before, so that's one of the things when we're doing our shtadlis, we're out in the world. Remember, Emuna B'tochen, Hashem's the one who's providing everything. And you guys, remember, keep giving feedback. We just got happy to help from Yosef Danil on our Instagram post, the live feed we had there. Thank you, Yosef Danil, again for the introduction. We appreciate such a chorus of tshuva means, tshuva on the tshuva means to take everything you have, all your energy, all your talents, all your culture. That's why I have to play music. It's just sitting there, my guitar getting dust, and I bring it out rarely. So force myself. I'm not really a musician. My thing is UnityBookings. Check out the link below, all the links, and we're going to put up, please God, a new extract from United Souls book. Please God, it'll be extract 20, I believe. Wow, 20 parts already from the book United Souls, up, available free in Substack, and we're putting it together again with all our Emuna footage, Emunalive.com footage partner. And remember, we're constantly generating good energy, good vibes, and putting out, please God, some good content from all our wonderful UnityBookings, talented, inspirational friends of ours, like Innocent Black. Please God, is putting out a lot of content soon, hopefully, and we're making a concert with him this Thursday for the AZ House. Whoever's listening before then, and hope you've got footage afterwards. A special recovery center that we had Sam Weissler in the studio. Did a special class together with him. We'll hopefully get the edited full official versions up soon. I wish they would be up this week, but people have been on holiday, computers, this, that, but we put up our version up, and therefore we're supportive to that whole concept of the 12 steps. Direct Fences class just put up, and please God, we'll be doing a class with him in New York, Carnegie Hall, maybe, let's see, and it'll be an amazing opportunity. The team there should be successful. Rav Arush should be able to come. We're still waiting on the confirmation. It's a big test for me personally. Everything's set up. We have our hosting. Please God, we'll have our classes. Patinek's interested, this thing, that thing. Meetings, people are already wanting to book meetings or paying already, sending Trumot because they want to speak to the Rav. They have the schus to speak to the Rav. Emunalive.com, and the idea, the concept that we're still waiting just on one person, and please God, that person will decide well. And then please God, we'll confirm those flights, and thank God we've been given a bit more time to confirm those flights for the US, New York, and we'd love to come to Miami. Someone reached out about doing a big Shabbaton in Miami. It would take a massive request to make that happen, because I really want to keep it to one flight there and one flight back. I don't really want to fly then on to Miami and then fly from Miami and all the extra stress that creates of flights for the Rav. We want to keep it as simple as possible, but we'll see. Everything's in the end is up to Hashem Yisparach. Mashiach could come, and then we're all going to be here anyway. Then there's the UK potential part of the trip. Thank God, some good friends there from Manchester have offered their hosting very kindly. Even my parents offered to host in London. That would be fun. I don't know if that will happen, but it's not very nice of them, and we appreciate it. My dad actually had an anniversary of WWE or WF back in the day, SummerSlam. And if you guys remember that, it was a massive event in UK. And he spoke about it in our Emuna class with Elul about promoting Emuna. So they had an anniversary. So we wish him mazel tov, success, thank God. And we want to also announce that Baruch Hashem DJ Hudakris, who was here in my home today, will be in the in-house DJ for this concert this Thursday. So we've got DJ Hudakris. Is the best vibes and energy between the two of them, and we hope to hear more and more Unity bookings for both of them. Moshe Rubin, thank God, did a great show last week. I want to thank Hashem, Coney Island, the Chosen Comedy Fest. It went very well. His performance, we really hope in the future we'll get a bit higher level lineup, and it's just a matter of time as he puts out more content, amazing talent and soul. And we're going to hear from Moshe Rubin as well as Nissan Black, performed awesomely there together. Heard only good feedback, thank God. And we've even been talking to the Kiddush Club, this podcast. So they had Elon Gold, who was a comedian from that as well. So you never know, might do some collaborations with them. We're always open to joining together with more and more organizations and promoting Muna and Unity focus globally. So we need to get into the teachings, very important. The Neshama Hashem's pouring on us so much clarity. There's a lot of podcast action going on. Shalom Zion, Rudy Rochman, all the different people I work with, and Westside Gravy would like to help that all happen. An anti-Semitism podcast will probably host them, and maybe myself, and represent you guys. Also, the Light of Infinite Festival by Erez, I believe it is AK D1. Someone, an old friend of mine, is putting on a festival, and I actually never met him, funny enough, in person, but we definitely did some work together, music stuff, and he's hosting a wonderful lineup, and I'm included, thank God. So I'll represent you guys, the Emuna teachings over there, and the United Souls vibes, UnityBookings vibes, with the Light of the Infinite Festival coming September 20th, so stick around for that. But now, after all the announcements, let's get to the most important part, the new light of Rav Arush. Yes, and then we'll see. Please make sweet. In every blessing you want to say at length, you must do so only until the words Baruch Atah Hashem. So in Shmoneh Esrei, you can't repeat words around Baruch Atah Hashem and that part, because it's forbidden to repeat these words, the name of Hashem, in the middle of the blessing. Because you're saying Hashem's name to cause of supplication. For example, as you pray and plead, you may repeat a number of times the sentence, heal us. So all the parts before, heal us, bless us, we will be healed, save us, we'll be saved. All these things you can repeat. I once witnessed one of the tzaddikim of the generation as he said the blessing on the Torah, and he repeated the words, Hashem our God, please make the words of Torah sweet in our mouth. Harev na. He says tzaddikim, Harev na, make sweet. Make the Torah sweet. Yeah, this is something which all you sweeties out there listening, you have to make it sweet. We have to share it sweetly. We have to join together, be sweet to each other. Noam Hashem, the sweetness of Hashem. I sang that before. The idea of sweetness. The Torah should be sweet. Harev na, should be pleasurable. Should be the most pleasurable thing in the world, more than anything you can imagine. The people do all kinds of things to experience pleasures, relationships and drugs and all kinds of foods and The key is to pray for that my most pleasure should come from learning the Torah together like we're doing now, and singing and connecting with souls very many times, because this is an awesome one to prepare for oneself and for one's offspring. As I wrote in Successful Children, that's another book of God and Emuna series, only after he repeated this over and over did he recite the conclusion, Blessed are Hashem, who teaches Torah's nation. So that he said obviously only once. If you do the same, you can spend 6 hours a year on this wonderful blessing, because when you say it with strong intention for a minute each day, the minutes will add up to 6 hours of work of the will a year. Then you have done the work of the will for 6 hours in the sweetness of Torah. So this idea, this work of the will, we want to have this 6 hour amount every year by Harevna, every day to ask for this pleasure. On learning Torah for its own sake and the success of your children in Torah, truly wonderful. It is also possible to do the work of his will in every other part of prayer. Father, compassion. Right now, we're trying to transform the concept of being an Eved to Hashem. We sang on our want to be an Eved Hashem. We also want to be the children of Hashem. Our Father, compassion. Please place understanding. Avinu Avarachaman, Varachem Rachem Aleinu, Saint Vili Bein Bina. It's a beautiful song also. Spending a minute or more on the work of the will regarding Torah, you will attain 6 hours a year. So may we not toil in vain. Another concept. All these beautiful parts of prayer, the way you internalize, the way you come to understand, the way to bring out the sweetness, the inner aspects of the words. You repeat them and say them more intensely. And the idea, obviously, you can't say Hashem's name again and again, but all the parts before, with the supplications, the way of words of connection, it's building a relationship. And we saw from Dr. Benjamin Kleppner, a very deep point, that he connects to God through music, through sounds. And that's one of the reasons why I force myself to play some music, because there's the sound aspect of just singing, of a niggin, of vibrations even. Taking it to the level of vibrations, all these gongs and things he had in his class, it teaches us that the soul's yearning is connecting in all different ways, like with a sunset. During this, a few weeks, we had a few times watching a sunset, beautiful picture I put up on my Relationship Flow podcast with my wife, my soulmate, and my son, Salmi, this beautiful place of sunset, it was in Netanya, and just that colors, the energy of the sea and the light, and it's so pleasurable, and the idea that you can take pleasure in the flow of Sabora and be inspired and be elevated through vibrations and through beauty of creation. The same applies to every other section in prayer. On the topic regarding which you want to see act results and you feel particular urgent need for Hashem to help. If you recite it every day as everyone recites, you will certainly not go to waste. So just saying words of tefillah, prayer, reading the siddur every day when you're meant to, like a good person should, you're not wasting your time, but it's not the full aspect of changing yourself. That's the whole real purpose of prayer. Rabbi Tats will feature apparently in the Infinite Festival Light. So he used to say always, Rabbi Kiva Tats, the idea of praying to change yourself. That's the purpose of it. It's not just Hashem doesn't need your prayers like in a needy way. It's he desires our prayers, but it's the most important desire is he wants us to come closer to him and change, become more unified with the oneness. Have you invested in even a minute there, focus your attention to prayer, you'll build vessels, you'll see great change. Certainly you invest more than a minute. Therefore, when you want to do the work of the will, in particular section of prayer, not necessarily the Shemona Esrei, it's very helpful to mark those places. And as seen extensively testified so by people about their own experience, you will see that your deep feeling will be aroused and your tensions will gain in strength. We'll read the next part, a wonderful gift, another time. But the concept is that by us, praying very strongly again and again for Hashem to help turn us, help us do tshuva, help us connect to you, help us to enjoy these Emuna classes, help get Emuna global, help the Emuna Tour 2022 be successful, help everyone who needs and wants to connect to the Rav in person be able to help us to have Shalom biased. Before I go, I'm going to take my wife away for a day just to connect. You have to have peace in the home. Can't just go fly off places and do things. Same with talking to Nis and Black about it. Very important to have that focus of the family before you can go and do anything. You have to be able to build those connections with the ones you love before you can go and inspire anyone else. You have to inspire yourself and the people closest to you, and then that will overflow to the rest of the world. So that's our hope. I'm going to sing a song, if my dry mouth allows me, called Simcha. It's going to be the climax of today's weekly Emuna double Emuna session. 2 classes, share them, class 84, and today's El Joy. everyone should be blessed with a joyous Elul, this time of blessing each other and wishing goodwill, forgiveness, connection, taking stock of everything that's happened. To realize we have all the answers within, we just have to open ourselves up a bit more, enjoy life, smile more. All of us need to work on this and know that Hashem's going to find us, going to give us everything we need. So remember, check out the links below in the description. Some good stuff going on. We're going to keep updating all our sites, especially when Elul comes. There's going to be a lot of content. Let's get Breslev.com and Emunalive.com. Get it global, get it out there. Get the United Souls book and UnityBookings artists. Get all the speakers, including Arosh, global messages. Right now in You Hashem, so we're going to sing a song called Simcha. We are a people of a kind, will to find our truest side. This place of holy fire and peace, this is our home. Yerushalayim will sing to all our children crying every time we sing, every time we dance, every time we sing, every time we clap our hands, every time we sing, every time we dance. All the simchas pouring through our hands, every time we sing, every time we dance. With former circles, time goes by, people yearning to find a way of this world. His hearts come back to sit still and sing and dance and yet feel very, very elevated every time. Every time we dance, every time we sing, every time we sing and dance, every time we sing, every time we dance. All the simchas pouring through our hands, every time we sing, every time we dance. Sing along. Ay, la, la, ya, la, la, ya, la, la, la. Ay, la, la, ya, la, la, ya, la, la, la. Come on, you guys. Sing along, sing along, sing along, sing along. Sing a song. Torah is our path, shining through our arms and beds, expressing all our love, to uplift the past, up from the dust, 'cause every time we sing and dance, all the simchas pouring through our hands, every time we sing, every time we dance, all the simchas pouring through our hands, every time we sing, every time we dance. La, 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 la. Sing along. La, 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 la. Every breath we take, everyone we love, all expression of love on above. Every breath we take, everyone we love, all expression of love on above. Every breath we take, everyone we love, all expression of love on above. that's our Emuna class today. Elul Joy. It's my own song written by myself, Baruch Hashem. Played it at my wedding. And 21 years later, almost, we're continuing playing it on, getting ready for the new year. Keep joyous, keep joyful, never give up. And remember, share Emuna Global. Love you. All the best. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it very much. We do. Have a good Shabbos. Good Chodesh.